Hey everybody, welcome to I've Been There Brother, the show about the struggles that we all face, we don't talk about, and how they can actually bring us together if we talk about them. That's William. I'm Keith. We're glad that you're here. Let's get into it.
Here we go.
Yeah, I can see the electrical cord running to your ass.
My wife made fun of me because I had to bring it out here because it was 48 degrees out here.
48, yeah. My garage, I think the coldest my garage has ever been whenever I was working out was maybe 38 degrees. Dude, that was rough.
That's cold.
It was really cold. It's normally maybe upper 40s whenever I get out there, which is cold. It's cold. And
you have that
little bars is cold.
That little heater up there, right?
I have two of those. So what are those called? Radiant heat or?
Oh, you have one of those.
Well, I don't know. I'm not that smart. It's got the red bulb and you turn it on and it gets hot and the heat comes out. That's radiant, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Seems radiant to me.
You got a little coffee in your mustache.
Yeah, I was looking for a white. It's constant. Always something in there.
It's the life that we live.
Yeah.
But I have two of those, and they don't break the bank with, how much they cost to run, and it'll warm it up from 48 to maybe 60.
Wow.
By the time I'm done, so in an hour and a half of being out there, hour and a half. That's what it says on the wall.
Same with mine. I just started this little tiny space heater thing it pumps pretty good. I think it heats better than the industrial one, the commercial one I have up on the ceiling.
Well, these things were $125 a piece, so I'm out $250, and they put out instant heat, and I can just put my hands up to them and warm my hands up if nothing else fails. But you can feel it. You're standing within 6 feet of that sucker, and I've got two of them pointing at each other. So I'm sweating every day out there, and they're silent.
I like the silence.
Home Depot.
You'll have to send me a link.
Were you? I don't remember. Did you work out 3 years ago? I know you're big. I know you're like 380 pounds and all of that, but okay, so maybe not 3 years ago, but throughout your life, were you working out?
I used to play hockey at a higher level, so I did from that. But when we lived in California for a couple of years, I definitely picked it up then because I had weighed at that point. That base I got was 260, 240 in that range, and I started working out every day. Then I walking. And that went really well. I had gotten down to 200 pounds then. But at the same time, after that, after my dad had passed, I pretty much just got super lazy.
Yeah.
Didn't work out at all.
Whenever I started, I remember the first time I worked out, remember going to a gym and working out. I was maybe 9 or 10. My dad used to drop me off at the gym because I wanted to be a professional baseball player, and he wanted me to be a professional baseball player. And he got a membership at Mark's Fitness in Charleston, Illinois. It was above Will Walker's grocery store. He would drop me off, and I would hang out and just watch everyone work out and pretend to work out, I think. But I remember going then, and that lasted for a little bit. And not too many gains as a scrawny 10-year-old hanging out at the gym. But I did develop a great taste in music. That would have been 1992, 93. So, whatever was on the radio then is what was just pumping in there.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. That's right. You weren't even born yet.
91. I would have been a year old.
Yeah, I was just getting swole with the guys. I was just getting swole. I think I was 90 pounds. Yeah, above the grocery store in this tiny little fucking town.
So before we get into that a little bit more, I'm curious. So were you a good youth baseball player? Were you pretty good?
Yeah. Yeah, I was good.
Yep.
Was
How
really
tall
good.
are you?
6'4".
How tall were you then?
I have no idea how tall I was whenever I was 9.
But you were pretty good?
Yeah, I was pretty good. Yeah, I was
Huh.
pretty good. Went to all the camps and, all the stuff.
Yeah.
All the stuff. Yeah. And
Do you still like baseball,
was-
like watching baseball now?
I have never enjoyed watching regular season baseball on TV that much. I think that it's a little boring. But also, I fucking hate the Savannah Bananas. Hate them. I've met Jesse Cole a couple times at work. He came to speak before he was big. I think that's the dumbest shit. I don't like it because I think I'm actually a purist whenever it comes to baseball.
Yeah.
And I understand what they're trying to do. I can't stand it. I think it's stupid.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely still athletes.
How's that for a strong opinion?
Yeah. I think they're athletes, but I don't get I don't get either sport. I mean, not to knock baseball. I just think that any sport where someone can stand, and very much with the Bananas, but very much where someone can stand in the outfield and get paid millions and millions of dollars to have a full conversation with a fan and not really miss a beat in the middle of an entire inning seems odd to me.
You ever been to a professional game?
Many. And I usually leave by like the 6th or 7th inning.
Really? See, not me.
Every time.
I don't want to watch regular season on TV, but send me to a game. I love being at a game. Well, you're going to say hockey, I know. But what other sport do you run the risk of getting hit by something if you don't pay attention? That's thrilling to me.
Yeah, I suppose.
And the atmosphere in the stadium, it's great.
And I like that. And I think for me, there's just a lot of slowness to it, and I maybe that's an intention thing that growing up with a lot of stuff like video games and all that, the quick attention, maybe that's part of it because I get so bored at baseball games. And the climate is cool, like the environment and all that, but I don't know. I get usually like, are we almost done? Are we almost done?
You know what I think about that, William? I think that this has been a thought rolling around in my head lately. I believe that we're uncomfortable with our own thoughts.
Yeah. I would have to
So
agree.
you don't like being alone with your thoughts. That's why William is pissed off at baseball games by the 6th inning because, you don't get good cell reception. You can't get distracted by the gram. And you got to think, you got to sit in your own thoughts.
That's probably pretty accurate.
I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you a little bit.
You're not wrong,
believe
though.
I do believe that, though.
Yeah. I mean,
I do believe that.
I definitely do. Like I'm the kind of person that I have been really working on my communication. I cannot stand drawn out silence. It's like I gotta fill it, and like with and things like that. When I think about the higher up wellness challenge, the speaking challenge, I really want to do that to challenge myself. I am worried about how many takes it'll take me to do one straight through of a minute, just because I know it's going to be something where I'm like,
I don't think you're allowed to do more than one take. If you were actually doing that challenge that he came up with, it's one take. You don't edit it. Oh, man. I have, for the stuff that I do on Instagram for my business, I have to edit this out. Like, I really realized how that might get edited out, who knows, but in case it does, that's me gasping for air. I never realized I was a heavy breather. So all of my stuff looks like like I had to cut out me misspeaking. No, it's just me breathing.
Yeah.
That I'm trying to cut out, and I move around a lot. So I can cover what feels like 6 feet in one gasp of of breath. So it can look a little choppy, but I think it's one run. That's the whole point, though.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the whole point of you do one take. You're going to have a ton of ums, a ton of ahs, whatever your tick is, and you get to watch yourself improve. It's part of the process.
Gosh, no, I feel like I got to just do it.
I think you just do it. You have a lot to say. You can fill 1 minute.
I can fill like 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's like, what did I say in the middle of that? I don't.
So I follow him.
About that.
he was doing a 12-hour road trip yesterday. I think he lives in Georgia.
Yeah, but he
driving
packed
to
everything
Austin.
up and he's doing that cross country, like no
Yeah.
plan. Yeah.
And he dropped on his stories, what should I listen to? So I dropped in there, I've Been There, Brother podcast. So in the event he
Let's
ever
go.
listens to this, what up? Hey.
That's awesome. I just like I think about his perspective on a lot of things, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of people out there like that. I mean, if you look in the right places or you start kind of filtering through a lot of that, I mean, we think about the fitness side of things. You think about how, we met through a similar kind of
Mm-hmm.
thought process. And I think there's a lot of benefit out there that people just don't open themselves up to.
Yeah.
But
William,
yeah,
check this out. Look at this. I think my uncle, who I talked to a little bit, I think he listened to episode 2, sent me a Bible.
let's go, dude. Let's go.
Sent me a Bible. Yeah. Just to go back a few episodes. Yeah, it was
Cool.
there. It is a John Maxwell leadership Bible. So it has notes on leadership. Interesting. I didn't know who that was.
I want to get one of those exact Bibles. There's a guy that's in one of the studies that I'm in, and he has the same type of Bible. And I've got a bunch of different ones. I got a Bible about fatherhood. I got a Bible about just a study guide with men's life. And he had said there's a leadership one. I'm like, shoot, like I'd like to, because everybody, think of the context of like studies like that where people are writing their input. Like that's just one person's input again on a Bible that, I find that just like perspective.
I see what he was doing. I see what he's doing. Right? He's saying, okay, Keith's being open about this. I care about him. He's a family member. I also know he really loves leadership. I see the angle there. I see what he's doing.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna read it. I'll let you know how it goes. I'll keep you up to date.
Cool. Always reach out if you need anything or have any questions. I also kind of talking towards that, some like, a listener listening in on things. I was running the other day and a good friend of mine and I were talking, which first of all, I was talking on the phone while running 10 miles. That's pretty wild for me. I couldn't believe that. He's like,
I bet the person on the other end of the call loved that.
Well, I asked him, I go, I can let you go. Or he goes, I can let you go. I said, no, if you don't mind my heavy breathing, I want to try this out and see if I can do this. Cause I was running at a faster pace than usual. And he said, no, I'm all for it. I'm here for it. And I ran for about 5 miles in my 10 with him on the phone. I survived, I got to the end, but
your friendship survived.
Yeah, so far. Yeah, definitely. No, I think it's cool. I was talking to him and he brought up our, the podcast and he said that he was listening to it while he was driving. And there was many times that he's sitting there having conversation with us, wanting to interject. And I just think
someone else told me that. Yeah.
It's really cool, and I think that's kind of exactly what we were talking about when we were even bringing this whole idea up. Is there's not a lot out there like this, and the whole point is bringing that out of people because I think we're too silent sometimes.
I agree.
So,
I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and it was about what I post on Instagram, actually. And on my stories, I post a lot of fitness stuff. I am not a fitness instructor. I don't sell fitness courses or anything like that. And they asked why I do that. As we discussed that, I just kind of told them my story. And to kind of pick up where we were earlier in this conversation of working out above the grocery store, I worked out maybe a little bit, I don't know, a couple weeks collectively in my life after I was 9 or 10 years old. So I would say that was not working out. And I've told my health story. I don't need to tell that again. And what came from that was unexpected. That's what I was talking to them about, is that, I showed up to get in shape, take care of myself, live a little longer, all those things. In the mental clarity, in the focus, in the structure, if you're actually fucking disciplined and stick to that, the structure that you get in your life and in the power of routine and carried over into every other aspect of my life. And I feel like a different person. So that was a conversation. Yeah, do you get that?
100%.
Yeah, not just
I
me.
was, well, and when I was in hockey, you know, like that was out of high school, that was all I focused on was hockey. And I mean, I played hockey every morning, played hockey during the day, worked hockey at night. I mean, it's just 24/7. That was all I did. And like, so like the structure in my mind was there, but and then after hockey, I was like, oh, I did this every day, all day, working out, taking care of that. And I never ate well. I'll be honest. I mean, I've never done what I do with my diet like I
Yeah.
do now. And I think it's because I had to, obviously from the perspective of feeding the right fuel. But when that all kind of clicked, it's just it's a different day each day. Like where I'm like, I just feel phenomenal.
Dude, I didn't do that. You know, whenever I started, well, you know, I'm doing it again, but I'm working on rid of the you knows. When I started on the program, I had never tracked food or any. I don't know. I believe I made fun of people for doing that, and then I became that person. And I went 3 months, no cheat meals, fucking dialed. And I remember the first time. I remember where I was. I had some ice cream, a little bit of ice cream, after 3 months with only eating whole foods and very minimally processed foods. I think I had a piece of bread a couple times. And I felt it 2 hours after eating that ice cream. Yeah, my body did yeah, you know what I'm talking about. We did, dude, I had a William in the car incident, and it.
Oh no, it runs.
You don't real, but right, that's just a little bit of ice cream, and I think about how I used to eat whatever I wanted, and I thought I felt fine, and then you detox from that, and you realize, holy cow, I must have felt like shit constantly.
Like, think of all like, not only like, and we've talked about alcohol and all that, but think about like the sodas, like all of those things. I used to pound like Coke. I love straight Coke.
I grew up on Mr. Pibb.
Oh, it's so bad. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't drink that stuff now. Like if something's going on and I see it in the fridge and I'm like, you know, I can make that fit. I can make that work. I will, but I don't savor it. I suck that down so fast. Like I drink that Coke, the carbonation. I don't know. It's just it's like a rush, and I love it. But I also love feeling great. And when I feed myself well, you mentioned like Whole Foods, and I really didn't get good at a lot of that until like the last few months. When I started running was when, you know, I was already I was eating really well, no doubt. I was tracking everything. And then when I started running, I'm like, okay, well, I really got to take this serious because I'm putting my body through a lot with the running, the lifting. I'm taking my lifting a lot more serious. I'm lifting heavier, trying to go more towards failure instead of just hitting reps. And man, my recovery was really slow. And so I started eating better and like nutrient timing, and it's just it's a different world. Like my recovery now is drastically different.
I typically don't notice that I feel great until I go off track for a day, and then I feel hungover the next day just from eating what people will call normal food. So I never, thinking back, I don't know if it was hard. I think I was in such a bad spot whenever I implemented all of that structure that it didn't bother me, if that makes sense.
So kind of like
I didn't feel like I was giving anything up. I felt like,
yeah, exactly.
I didn't feel like I was giving anything up by being that strict. It also probably helped having taking the control over drinking and just channeling that into controlling what I eat and how I work out. I think that's what I did. Yeah.
I traded one addiction, and we talked about that in another episode where it's like, I kind of am psychotic with my routine in a lot of ways, which you have to be, you know. I think to have such a discipline, but my day is like from 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. Like I have everything scheduled out. Like as silly as that sounds, like I have what I do for the first hour, second hour, third, and I have scheduled in time with my wife, time to focus on just my kids, because if I don't have it on there, I don't do it. And that's the same with like a workout plan. If I don't track my food,
Yeah.
if I don't have a workout plan in there, I don't do it. Like it's like I could
I
skip
used
today,
to be
but
that way in the beginning. Every
yeah.
minute of every day was scheduled. I'm not like that anymore
Yeah.
because I don't think I need to be. Here's what I've learned. So I did 75 hard a year and a half ago, and now I'm doing the operator standard. And so I've carried over the 5 critical tasks and not focusing on, making sure that they're not just shit that I need to do throughout the day, but I have certain goals that I want
Yeah.
in life with relationships and fitness, self-development, business, all that. I really focus on those. Those have helped a lot. And also, so I know that I need to work out. I know my food's dialed at this point. I
Yeah.
am blessed with the ability to eat the exact same thing
Every day.
every day for the rest of my life, and I don't care. I'm like,
It's so, isn't that a freeing feeling though? Like that calories
yeah.
you burn to think about food are gone.
I don't even think about it, and
No.
it takes no time to actually measure stuff. It really,
You start
it
getting used
doesn't.
to how much it's like, okay, that's 2 scoops
Yeah.
with this spoon,
Yeah.
2 scoops with
Yeah.
this spoon usually. I totally agree.
But instead of structuring my whole day, this is what I've learned about myself. I've learned if I don't work out at 5 a.m., I'm probably not going to work out. So that's what happens at that time. When it comes to my critical tasks that I need to achieve every day, I know some things I need to get done by 9 a.m., some things I could do at 6 p.m. And so I just know what I need to get done, and I just get it done. And it has actually freed up. That amount of discipline and structure has created so much freedom in my life. And if you listen to people like Jocko, right? Like, what is it? Discipline equals freedom. That shit's true. If you are actually super structured, you have way more flexibility in your life. You also have this center that you can come back to.
Yep. Yeah. It's easy to find like basically finding your routine or your path, basically getting back on path again. Or it's like a compass in a way, a map.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if I would have kept going of everything being, I was about to say, if I kept going with everything being super structured all day, my wife would murder me. But what was happening, it wasn't the structure. It's that I did not include her in my structure. We've talked about that one. I went too deep on the Keith focus.
Yeah. And lately my wife has like started kind of incorporating her own strict routine. Like she's now set her alarm a little bit earlier, and she's got her morning routine that she really likes having set up for her success in a way that if we don't hit that right away, she does go back and like, she's like, I need to start here and do this right away. And that she used to never be that way. And I think that's just how we've noticed in our home that it's really started when we're both on task, like everything else it's very smooth sailing. And that like, also we're so confident in our process that we can pretty much handle anything. It feels like I feel it's like an invincible feeling, kind of like it's cool.
Did you expect the discipline and structure from working out to carry over into other parts of your life, or did it just you wake up one day and realize it happened? What did that look like for you?
I think I had to make it happen in a way of, if I wanted that to be successful and make that work, I had to do that everywhere else, which, in work, I talked like that, in business, we talked like that. We spoke to our team members like that same mentality. I just did not incorporate it. Like I wasn't bought into my own structure.
You weren't practicing what you preached.
Nope. Not one bit.
I never expected it to happen. And I never noticed it. I didn't notice it until it was there.
Yeah.
And
did people tell you along the way, like, hey, like you're really strict or anything like that?
People told me I was too strict.
Yeah.
It was maybe 4 months in, 5 months, we'll say 5 months in, 5 months into working out, measuring my stuff. I'd lost 54 pounds at that point. We had a couple friends over, and one of them, we were making steak. We were doing like a steak night. Tried to do this really cool thing where I had some guys come over. I'd invite them over, and I called it hang and meet. Like, we're going to meet each other and we're going to hang out, but the meat was spelled like meat, like steaks. You see what I did there? I was trying to be creative.
Did you actually create invites for this?
I mean, I sent a text message.
Did it spell it like that and everything?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hang and meet.
Oh, love the structure.
I weighed
Branding.
I weighed out the steak because I was tracking my stuff. And
of
probably 3 times during that session of hang and meet, they kept asking me, and it got borderline making fun of me. And they're not that good of a friend to where you can make fun of me too many times. So it got to the point I said, what the fuck do you care? This has absolutely nothing to do with you. It has no impact on your life. Shut the fuck up. We haven't talked a whole lot since then, but
you were fired.
You
fired them.
That's
it's a mutual leave of absence.
That was a mutual parting of ways.
Yeah,
good enough, dude. But I'd reached the point where I felt really confident in what I was doing. I was seeing the results, and I was starting to embrace the mentality of what got me here won't get me there, and that includes friends sometimes. And I didn't intentionally break up with anyone, but I felt confident in myself. I've made gains, and maybe that was a turning point for me. I've done this. I've put the work in. I feel really good. And you know what? More importantly than how I feel physically, mentally, man, I was confident. I felt good about who I was. That didn't happen overnight, but I think it was around then. And then whenever I quit my job, I remember exactly where I was when I said, I am quitting this stupid job that I'd been at for 15 years. And I never would have had that confidence without working out in the structure and the discipline that comes from that. That's where I went, holy shit, this is carrying over to my life because I'm worth more as a person than the way I am being treated. And I'm done with that. I'll figure it out. I quit without a plan.
Yeah.
I quit really well, though. It
was a spectacle?
You see that, right? Let me see that?
Yeah.
That's the email that got me out. I was taken care of. I framed it. It was really good.
Yeah. Speaking of things behind you, really quickly, what's with the guy peering over the couch?
That's little Keith.
That's you?
Yeah, that's little Keith. Hold on. Here, I'll go. Hold on.
I've always wondered that. Uh-oh. Oh.
Yeah, man.
I thought that was a pillow.
No, that's a cardboard cutout. That's back in the bike shop days. I was out in Los Angeles. I was at a store that I used to oversee, and they had drawn that of me and gave it to me. That's little cool. Keith. I've had him for 6-7 years.
There you go.
I kind of move him around the background a little bit.
Well, and I've noticed, I didn't notice it until I was rewatching like during creating clips, and I was like, is that like somebody peering over that? Like, is he setting that? And I noticed maybe it moved one episode, maybe it moved, and I've been meaning to ask. And
I actually can't have it there. I keep looking at it. Hold on. That's old Keith.
There you go. Okay, going back really quick then. You talk about the confidence, you talk about what you've created. I'd be curious as correct me if the terminology is wrong, but a leadership coach. I've talked about coaching and doing programs for that routine wise, basically what we're talking about, mindset coaching. I am curious, how many coaches have you worked with? Because I think that everybody can use a coach. In my opinion, everybody needs mentors. Everybody, I mean, that's how you improve.
Yeah. I've worked with a few as a client, a few coaches. What I've had a ton of is mentors.
Yes. Yeah.
I think you have mentors that you can look back and go, I had this mentor. And then there's strategic mentors. I've had a number of strategic mentors where I reached out and said, I would like to have you be my mentor.
Yeah. Yep.
And me being me was very structured about it. This is what I want to do. This is when we're going to meet. This is when I would like to meet. And here's how long we'd meet for. Here's how long this session would, here's how long this cycle would last. And I did that. I did a solid 2 years where I had a monthly session with someone 3 months at a time, and then I would rotate. And I went and I created this list of people that I had access to. And if whenever I read their name, it didn't make me uncomfortable, I removed them from the list. I did not want to feel comfortable doing it. I thought that's too much of a friend. I feel too comfortable around them. Why do I feel uncomfortable around this person? Well, I felt uncomfortable. The people who made the list, I felt uncomfortable because I didn't agree with their approach. I didn't agree with some things. Some of them, we got in fights in the past, but what they had is what I wanted. They had achieved something that I had not, and I wanted that. So I was strategic about it. I wanted to feel
you went chasing whales.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I was curious on that, and I was someone that for a long time did not really incorporate a lot of that, didn't ask for help or didn't seek advice in a lot of counsel. And, probably like 2 years ago when I was at rock bottom, I'm like, I can't do this on my own. And just started asking for advice from people, whether it was business, whether it was obviously my fitness, but also just like as a person, I think there's a lot of growth that can be done I don't know, in communication and who you are as a person.
One of the best things I ever did was I built a personal board of directors. I'm a big believer in that. That's what I call it, personal board of directors. 3 people, diverse backgrounds, that when I need to make a decision in life, I can go to them and they will tell me the absolute fucking truth.
Cool. I think I have that subconsciously. I don't think of it as that.
I mean, we don't have meetings, but but in my mind, they are my board of directors. There's 3 of them, 2 women, 1 man, and they will tell me the truth. We need more of that. And I think that was part of working with people that make you uncomfortable. What you're looking for is accountability, whether folks realize it or not. We thrive with accountability. People want accountability.
Yeah.
You want to know if you're doing right. You want someone to give you that direction, and it's okay to be uncomfortable in that moment. As long as you're willing to do something with it.
Yep. And take the time to make the time. It's tough.
We can also go to too many people. That's why it's 3. I don't need 5. Yeah. I don't need 5 opinions on shit.
Yeah, like you bring up mentors. It's very much the same for me. I think the board of directors now is like a very select few. I don't know if it's 3, 4. I would say there's probably 3 people that I as well, which subconsciously don't even realize it. But I mean, like my experience of who I go to has changed, and I'm sure it's the same for you. It sounds like, but like who I'm going to get the actual truth from. And they're not going to worry about like hurting my feelings. They just tell me, I think you stepped out of line here. Like those are people that keep me straight and true.
We're surrounded by people who tell us what they think we want to hear. Whether it's your family, your friends, who you work with. That's a very real thing. Whenever people tell me something is a good idea repeatedly, I actually start to really question it. I go, I think you're just telling me what I want to hear, because it's not. My ideas are not that good.
When I start prying, I'm like, are you being serious with me? Or like, can you give me some breakdown? Like, give me some more details. Because it doesn't feel like you're telling me everything. It's like, oh no, that's really good. Really though? Like, what's good about it? Well, and then all of a sudden you start getting more. It's like, okay, well, I can adjust that. Or, like you need to tell me these things. Like when I'm asking you this, I want the truth. And when I'm not asking, I think when I'm not asking and they have an opinion on something, if it's those people, like you need to you keep me accountable. Tell me.
Yeah.
Structure's not bad, and
Structure's
Like we
super
talked
good.
about, like with our fitness and all that, like and how it bled over. For you, it sounds like it carried over and you weren't expecting that. What is your favorite part about your structure? Like what is the number one thing that, man, I love that.
Thing that I do or benefit?
Just any of it. Like what is the, like if you're thinking about like something that is just, you know what, since I created this structure, I love this about what I do.
I love getting up early. I was not a morning person. I started doing that out of necessity. Now I do it because when I wake up at 4 a.m., by 8 a.m., I've gotten more done from 4 to 8 than I used to get done in 2 days, 3 days.
Oh, I totally agree.
And since you can't text me, you shouldn't text anyone. You can't really call anybody. Everybody's asleep. The whole world is asleep. And if you're disciplined enough to not get on your fucking phone and doom scroll, you can get so much done. And sometimes that getting stuff done is just sitting in silence for 20 minutes and thinking and processing. But I love that. I love the benefit of just getting up early and getting so much stuff done, in the feeling of you're stacking wins.
Bingo.
You're just getting stuff done. And that seems like such a small thing, but the stacking of those little wins compounds. It sets the tone for the day. And I used to make fun of people that I would hear on Instagram talking about that. And I didn't do it to achieve that. I did it because I needed to get stuff done because I didn't have time in the day. And
Yep.
the amount of stuff. And then, right, so what did that do? Okay, I get up, I work out. And then that turned out I get up, I work out, and I'm going to read. I get up, and then that turned into, I have more time, right? You just get more efficient. And now, whenever it comes to critical tasks and what I need to get done, I truly am knocking out 3 days, what used to be 3 days, in 3 hours, 4 hours. And it just sets the rest of the day up to where if I can't get anything else done, okay, I'm not a piece of shit, right? Look at all that I got done. I'm here to win today. And if I have time, I can do more. Or I can spend time with my kids. I can spend time with my wife. Here's the reality. I feel like my mom. Nothing good happens after 10 p.m. anyway. You're not. What are you really doing? What are you really doing?
Yeah.
After 9, really. You're wasting time. That's what you're doing. You're scrolling on your phone. You're watching fucking Netflix. So just go to bed 1 hour earlier and get up 2 hours earlier. There you go. You're still going to get 7 hours of sleep, and you get so much done.
I agree. That would probably be the same thing for me. Almost dead on. Like when I started switching to 4 a.m., it used to be like 5, and that was fine. But then when I wanted to get more done, it was the same thing. I'm like, gosh, what's another hour? Like, I got to go to bed at 9 instead of 10? Like, what am I doing then? Like, I used to play a lot of video games, or I'd watch a lot of like Netflix and binge watch shows, and then I'd eat more. And
you're doing nothing productive.
No. And whereas when I start my day, everybody loves winning. Who doesn't love winning? Like, and when I get tasks, and I am a task box checker, like it's one thing after another that I'm like, oh, when done, I read this book, done, read this chapter, done, like took the supplement, done. Like, it's like boom, 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 boom. And then all of a sudden I come out to the gym, and because 5 o'clock is when I come out to the gym after I've done everything else in my morning. And I'm like, it's like peaceful in here for an hour. My wife will come out here for part of it. Then my kids start rolling in, and it's just, there's an air of just a confidence of accomplishment in those hours. And often there'll be times where I'm like doing emails or something, and I try to stick away from that because I want to focus on just that time. And then I hit emails while I'm eating breakfast, and I'll sit there and I'll go through my emails then. And I love it. I love my mornings, and for me, it's 7 days a week. I get up at 4 on Saturdays and Sundays included. Like, my structure for me has been that is a success. Even on my rest days, like when I don't have gym, like why not get up and why not? Like,
and it doesn't have to be working out.
No.
Everyone's different. What's your thing? What is your gym? And it could be reading, it could be meditating, it could be going for a walk, whatever. Playing with your dog, whatever fulfills you and allows you to stack that win and get a positive mindset and feel accomplishment and a sense of pride and confidence is growing. That's what it's
And
about. It's about starting
maybe it is work for someone, you know, maybe they get up and do their emails, and then all of a sudden, and you used the term earlier, freedom, like all of a sudden their afternoon is more free because they did it in the morning. And those are my favorite days when I get up, I do all my stuff from 4 to 5, from 5 to 6:15, 6:30, I get my workout stuff. Then I eat breakfast, and during breakfast, usually I schedule out my food for the day, so I'm planned out if I didn't do it the day before. And by 4 o'clock, when I'm done with work, or at least trying to step away from work, that's when my structure is I need to step away now. My favorite days are when it's like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and the rest of my day is scheduled out for just family. And it's like, that was my intention. And there's like a freedom. I don't have to work out. I don't feel like I need to run. I've already planned my meals, so there's no thought calories there. And I don't have, unless barring any fires with other business, I don't have anything but time for my family. And that there is so much freedom in that. And I don't think enough people, I think people want the instant side of it. They don't want to do the work. And it's like,
here's what they do. Here's what they do. The biggest mistake that people make, they try to accomplish this big, grand change. What's the next big thing?
Yep.
And it doesn't work that way. Whenever I talk about these critical tasks, whenever we both talk about the changes that we've experienced through structure and discipline, I'm going to speak for you because I know this is the truth. It doesn't happen overnight, and it is small things that you are super freaking consistent on. Yep. It's not this big thing. It is these small compounding wins. That's the biggest mistake that people make. And whenever they don't see success results, whether it's in the gym, at work, in life, in 3 weeks, they throw in the towel.
Yep. And have you ever read Atomic Habits by James Clear?
I haven't. It's been years. I couldn't tell you anything about the book, but I have read it.
It's like one of my favorite books. And I just had a friend of mine start reading it. He was kind of struggling with timing of his day, and wanting to take back his life.
Yeah.
And I was like, read this book, see what you think. And then like 2 days later, he had finally, maybe Audible or whatever, but the first chapter, I just posted about this yesterday because it's something that is so true to me. Just 1% better every day is something that he talks about frequently. Whereas 1% better or worse every day, and like compounding wise, if you do 1% better every day, it's like in a certain amount of time, it's like 30%, 37% or something like that of an increase of ability or whatever it is. But the mentality is just, you don't have to do a lot. And like, to reset your life, start small. Like, don't try to, like you said, don't do this transformation overnight. This doesn't happen that way. Time.
It takes time. You know, the 1% better thing, I love it. I live it. Don't disagree with it.
Yeah.
At the same time, for me, there's a missing piece to that. Because I believe you can work really, really hard and you can be a terrible employee. You can work really, really hard and make no progress. That's the missing piece. Like, where the fuck do you want to go? And you start talking to people, and there's not, where are we going? What's your goal? And the goal sometimes is this really pie in the sky, not measurable thing. That's the missing piece. That's where 1% works, is if you know where you want to go. Just working harder doesn't yield a whole lot.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I want to get in shape. Cool. What does that actually mean? Let's set some real goals, and a goal needs to be measurable, time-bound, specific, actionable. That's a smart. Yeah. It's a smart. I'm describing a smart goal, but that's what's missing.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Sorry, I went off on a 1% better rant. I love hate with that.
No, I think that's part of it. I mean, I think for a long time I was doing it as you're saying, pie in the sky, like, oh, I just want to be better. I want to be healthier. And then when I started actually incorporating what that looked like, I want to be able to walk a block. And, like I had like
There you go. Right. That's good.
something specific. And then all of a sudden I
Yep.
started doing that. And I'm like, well, I can go 2, and I'm going to go a mile now. And I would get done with that mile and be gassed. And now I'm running 13. It's like,
You run a business. Like, you would never go to your employees and go, here's what I need from you. Do better.
yeah, exactly.
Some managers do that. They're shitty managers. But you don't do that. That is not how you lead a team. Do better.
Yeah. It's tough, and I think we all fail because the instant gratification that the world lives in is just so much. Oh yeah, tomorrow you can get this. Like if I want to go buy something, there's a way to buy it instantly. I'm not saying people can't afford it. I'm not saying don't think like you can't make it happen, like you can't accomplish it. But I mean, money doesn't grow on trees. First of all, you got to work for it, and people don't want to put the work in.
I think that working out that discipline, that structure,
Yep,
has improved my patience. I'm not inherently a patient man. It's helped with that.
I would say I'm exactly the same. I am not patient to any facet of the imagination, and being disciplined, committing to health and all of that. It all, I would see people on Instagram and be like, ugh, how do you have time for all that? Like, you're crazy. Like, I don't have time for that. I got all these things that are these idolized things that I needed that
Yeah.
as soon as I cut them out, I realized, man, I got a ton of time in my day. Like, I can get a lot done. And then you start structuring it. And it's like, holy cow, what more can I fit? What more can I do to do better? What more, like, our house is cleaner, our we're calmer people, which says a lot because I'm not calm.
You know what freed up a lot of time for me? Not drinking.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That freed up. We all have something.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not drinking. Maybe it's playing. I was going to say Nintendo. Is Nintendo still a thing? I
Yeah,
sound like
I mean,
an 80-year-old man. Yeah.
Nintendo
Switch. That's right. We all have something. The hours are
Yep.
there. It's just how you use them. Man, I remember drinking, though. And, I'd start at maybe 4, maybe 3 in the afternoon and pass out by 9. But those 6 hours, gone. Gone. Started out really good, too. I would have a drink, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do something. No, you're not. For about half a drink, you are. And then you become a sack of shit just sitting on the couch.
Just unaware of anything.
Yeah, but it's not just booze. It's we all have something.
Well, and think about how many times, I don't know about you, but like there's shows I would watch on Netflix that I would start an episode and be like, what's another one? All of a sudden, 6 hours later, I'm like, shoot, it's 2:00 in the morning. I got to get up for work soon. Like, and I'm like, what's one more episode? It's like that dopamine, that excitement of, one more episode. And that's why it's just another thing.
So implementing this amount of structure in discipline is far easier if you're single. What's that been like for you in your marriage, trying to be this strict? I know you've talked about it a little bit. I know Liz is working, she's implementing that. Yeah. I do not believe it's been easy the entire time.
No, it is not. We're on the same wavelength now, like that discipline and that structure, but it took a lot of failure. Like because as soon as I've gained knowledge and it was working for me, then I started trying to like kind of force it into her life. Like, you should do this, you should do that. And this is type A. You need to change your structure. Get up earlier. Get up 15 minutes earlier. It's like started being really critical, which was causing a lot of friction. And the minute I started, you know what? Let me just focus on my morning and make it just the 3 hours, 4 hours for just me, and whatever you do with your time is fine. We had to figure out like the things that we both needed to like do as a household that we would kind of tag team. We had to finally figure out the structure of that. And once we figured out that structure, then you started kind of noticing how my structure played a role in that team structure. And then she started developing hers. And it was like one thing after another. And now like it's this well-oiled machine of like, we both know exactly pretty much what each other's routine is. And they don't really overlap. They kind of do, but they don't. And then our team atmosphere is so cohesive now, which in all our years of marriage, it has never been this smooth.
Here's a question for you, William. You were afraid that you're just going to stop doing all of this. Here's why I asked that. I'm not afraid, but I can look back on my life and think of things that I've changed or I've implemented that I was passionate about, and I'm not passionate about them anymore. Some of them lasted 3 months, some of them lasted 3 years, and then it just kind of fizzled out. And I never thought it was going to, but it did. You ever worry about that with this lifestyle change?
Yeah. I don't know if it's worry or fear. I think it's more or less letting myself down. I've built such a routine that's like where rest is hard for me. And I understand rest is a huge part of the discipline. But I'm afraid I'm going to let myself down. And if I let me down, then I let down my wife, my kids, my faith. And it's like, if I don't remain obedient to all of that and obedient, like, I bring up my faith a lot. If I don't remain obedient to God, like if I can't be trustful in that, then how can I be trustful in anything? And that's been huge clarity for me is I don't want to miss in a way.
Yeah. Do you think that the fear of not making something last forever keeps people from ever starting that thing?
Absolutely. We all hate failing. We don't like letting people down. I think innately we struggle with the idea of, oh, we could screw this up. I could, what happens if I don't succeed?
Yeah, so why start?
Yeah, why take the time?
Yeah.
Because it does take work. And it, like we talked, this is 34 years in the making. This is 40 plus years in the making. Like, not everybody has the same difficulty in life, but what I have learned in a lot of the feedback and a lot of our discussion is that it's not interchangeable, but it is interchangeable to a sense of where the energy goes, energy flows. And if we focus on things that don't work over and over, they won't work. But if we continue to build on that, it can.
You know what's hard about the incremental stacking of wins, and then one day it equates into something bigger, is you don't always know that you're making progress. And you talked about, right, you can get discouraged and you can quit because it feels, you're doing this thing and it's not working. That's a challenge sometimes. I'm doing this thing. I think it's right. I don't know if it's working. But since it doesn't work overnight, you got to stick it out.
Yeah.
And fuck, man, how do you have you done anything you thought was right for an extended period of time and you're like, I'm stacking these wins, I just haven't seen the results yet, and then eventually you pull the plug on it?
I guess nothing comes to mind.
Yeah.
In that regard, because lately all I've done is continuously done the same stuff. Drinking I thought was, it was a good medicine in my eyes. And that was something that I was like, oh, I'm doing just fine with that. Like, I still am getting up, going to work, and having no issue at work, able to come home and drown my emotions and all that. And I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm saying I thought it was a good thing. I thought I was coping with life and with struggles that I was dealing with, and pulled the plug on that real quick. I shouldn't say real quick. It took years to decide to actually pull the plug, but you get what I'm saying there.
Yeah, I think where I struggle with it is, here's where I don't struggle. Drinking, drugs, working out, eating healthy. That is, there's no argument that by doing that you will become better.
Yep.
Whenever you try to take that approach into, let's say, business, and you're doing something that you feel is good, it's a challenge to know when to pull the plug on that tactic. Let's make up a scenario. Let's say you're trying to draw on new clients and you have this new sales approach, you have this new marketing approach. How long do you let that shit run before you're like, this isn't work? I think this is really good. No one else does. I think is harder, and that comes from, I have discipline, I have structure. I know I need to stick with this. I need to get small wins. It's just not clearly defined whether or not it's working.
I don't know that there is an answer to that. I mean, I think fortunately I've asked, I've started learning that, hey, I need to ask my team, like, just because the risk isn't on them doesn't mean anything. They care just as much. They're in a position where they've gotten to now where they have weight, they have a little skin in the game to a sense of time and effort. And if they didn't care, they wouldn't be here. And so I started asking questions. And just this week, we've had some great communication as leadership, some internal changes where instead of William just saying the answer, and I said that in a message, like that, what do you guys think? Like, this is what I think we should do. This is what I want to do. What do you feel? And we had people who had history with our business that had said certain things like, this is what we used to do, and this is what I think. And it prompted other questions. And then two other people spoke up, and it's creating an inclusive culture instead of an I'm always right culture, and William's right. And I wasn't operating that way for a while, where it was do as I say, not as I do. And when you start incorporating that in life, I think, you bring up the personal board of directors. I love that term. I've never thought of that. And I have that. And man, and that's part of the reason that my life has improved like it has, is because I'm not always right, even though I like to think I am.
Even if I stop doing all of this stuff in 1 year, I have no regrets, because it would have been a really fucking great 3 years.
Yep.
I don't think I'm going to stop, though. These are some changes that I've implemented that they're not hobbies, and the benefits that have come from it.
There's one thing
like I've changed my life in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It is completely different. So have you.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this just yesterday. I didn't want to run the other day. I was kind of reflecting on the run. And I was thinking to myself how much I have enjoyed, well, first of all, the suck of it, but like when I've gone on runs, in some cases, has been some of the clearest thought process I've had. Or, when I'm in the gym, it's the same thing. But like when I've gone on runs outside, I love running outside. I see things differently. I experience the suck a lot differently. Like, man, I'm out here running. Like, to think of how miserable it was to do what I used to do, to where I can just choose to go do that and experience nature, life.
Yeah.
The cold, the hot. I've ran in Florida, I've ran in Minnesota, I've ran in California, and it's like in all those places, it's only been filled with joy, just pure joy of the ability to do that. And I want to do that forever now. Like I want to chase that feeling of feeling strong, of running fast.
The sense of accomplishment and pride and confidence from doing hard things, in finding out what you're capable of. And you just keep being capable of more. It's awesome.
And you mentioned earlier how like it's not instant and it takes a lot of time. And when you see that, when you see the wins actually start to come, like the other day I was working out and like, again, muscle definition, all those things. Like I've never had that in my entire life. And I was in great shape during hockey, but the work that I've put in every morning, the running and all of that, and I started seeing muscle definition and I'm like, man, like I have never seen that. And it was a weird feeling to see the work physically start coming out of like paint on a canvas, like a picture starting to kind of come into play. And I'm like, oh man, I can see that now. And now it's like, what more can I do? How much better can I take care of my diet? How much better can I take care of my day? What more sleep can I get? Recovery, all those things. I start thinking about, okay, how much can I push the envelope?
I'm ready to run through a wall now. Thanks, William. This is probably a good spot to wrap it up. Anything you want to add?
No, I think that it's been a great thing. What is one goal you have in the next year that you would like to accomplish with your discipline and your mindset currently?
I have gym goals. I have life goals. I have work goals. The work goals, yeah, it's to grow the business. Gym goals. I don't know if my gym goals are accurate because I look up what's the average of the, and I want to be above average, William. Then I go, what's my age? What's the average male capable of? I want to be better than that. I don't want to be fucking average.
Bingo. That's a goal enough right there.
There you go. So a whole lot of that.
I think everybody should strive to be better than average.
I just want to be above average. Really, I don't want to just be above average. I want to be winning, but it's yeah. That's a good place to start. All right, everybody. Hey, goal. We appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Go out there, do something hard this week. We'll talk to you next time.